only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Detroit's winning sports network.
Everybody, yo, welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
Sorry, Big D!
There it is. My name is Neal. Rhul. That guy over there is Darren McCarty. Now, usually we're at the Planet Fitness Studios in Birmingham, but today we're like in the real Planet Fitness Studios, like legitimately Planet Fitness.
You're actually just steaming as I just walked in and crossed paths with you as you were taking the gear out to the car.
Absolutely, I was.
Fine day.
I got it in.
This is one of your remotes, right?
This is.
You've been here a few times. This isn't your standard go-to every day, but
This is my backup Planet Fitness right here. Now, my main one is the one over in Troy because that's where the studios are and everything. But I do live in Washington Township. It's up the hill from here a little bit. Like we lured.
do you have to kick it into drive, or can you go neutral all the way here?
Maybe I'll have the butler start pushing it, and then we'll get it going that way. But no, we are here. We're at the Shelby Township location. We're at 23 and Van Dyke. And again, Planet Fitness. You guys know my affinity for Planet Fitness. And shout out to everybody here. We'll talk to some of the Planet Fitness people coming up a little bit later on in the show. But hey, anything happen in the sports world yesterday? First off, I hope the Halloween was good. Joey, the legend Joey, is here. He and I were just talking yesterday. We take the kids out trick-or-treating. It starts snowing, and then all of a sudden everything shut down in 30 minutes.
I was out there. I was in the mean streets Hazel Park with my boy J.R. Adams. He was dressed as Michael Myers, which, being the big guy that he is pretty freaking scary. So we got a few kids from behind the tree. It was good. But yes, the snow that did come on. I mean, we are in Michigan, but hope everybody got their candy. Make sure that you don't overdo it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give me that candy corn.
Yeah. Well, for the record, I did. My kids were good earners. They were out there in the streets. They came back with a couple of Almond Joys. I had to relieve them of the Heath bar. The kids don't like the Heath bars. You got to be old to like a Heath bar like me.
Because once they get it stuck, the toffee in their teeth, then they're done for. So you got to be a veteran to eat a Heath.
No, absolutely. But we did do it out there for the whole 30 minutes before it started snowing. And it's one of those things where, for me, I don't understand why you can't just move Halloween to the last Saturday of September. Why can't you do it?
No, I mean, why hasn't it been done? That's more the question, not why shouldn't you. Why hasn't it been done yet?
Yes, absolutely.
Biggest points of contention, I guess.
People talking right now on the woodwardsports.com chat thread. Jump into there, subscribe to the Big D Energy podcast, iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, wherever you get your podcasts. Jump into there. Gus Alfaro says you guys are echoing. Don't worry, they'll get it figured out by Ermanni and Edwards show. That's all this is. This is just a dry run. We get everything figured out. Everything was fine for the morning show.
We're tracer fire.
Absolutely. That's the way it is, but don't worry. There'll be new equipment brought in. Any truth to the rumor, I'm sure the headsets will all change. Everything will be different. And that is the way that it will go. No, people are laughing right there. No, it's true. That's exactly how it'll happen, D-Mac. You know that.
Factual. What do you want?
No, absolutely.
It's actually nice to be here. Nice to be out and about.
No, the Planet Fitness people are always cool to us, and certainly we do appreciate it. But we do have a big-time show lined up for you guys, and the NFL trade deadline has come and gone. And yes, I see the people in there. Chico G in the WoodwardSports.com chat. Spenny said winning the division this year wouldn't be an accomplishment. Do we agree with that? And
wow. How you move the goalposts? All these guys, everybody's
well, it didn't stop there, D-Mac.
I know. You were giving me an update, and a little disappointed in our boy Spenny. But you know what? Maybe that's more of. I was trying to explain to Lucas before and Jeff and asked me, and absolutely you can be disappointed, but I don't know. I'm a Gen Xer, and I go back to if I'm in, I'm all the way in. I don't waver on it. To me, it's more like a parental thing. You didn't get what you wanted for Christmas. But your cousin did, so you're pissed off because you got to watch him play for it, but you don't understand the bigger picture. I understand the disappointment, But again, trust the process. And let's just focus right there on that one. You don't win the division after not making the playoffs for whatever years. It's a disappointment. Come on, man.
Spenny's out. And look, that's not twisting words and stuff like that. And I wish Spenny were here right now because I would have him answer for himself. But tomorrow when we get back in the studio and Spenny's there, we're going to sit down and we're going to hash some things out.
Questions.
There's going to be questions and answers. No, absolutely it is because battle lines have been drawn yesterday. And look, we got JB Smoove, we got BMG. You know what? You want to know another one? Big Lucas Klotz as well as another one of these guys. I'm taking receipts, D-Mac, because look, you know for me, and you had to help me out with this, where the Stoke Not Scared movement, I was late. I took the second bus to the arena. You know how in sports there's multiple buses that, for those that don't know, when you're at the team hotel, there's multiple buses that go to the arena. There's the early one that goes over about 4:30. There's another one about 4:45, and then there's the last one about 5 o'clock. And it's your choice which bus you want to be on. For me, with the Stoke Not Scared movement, I got on a little bit later bus. D-Mac was there, front row, 4:45 bus. I got on a little bit later bus. But you know what, D-Mac? Like, I am all the way in as D-Mac poses for pictures while he's on a camera. That's the way this man works.
But here's the one thing, and I realized this when I was talking to Lucas and Jeff. I'm thwarted and I'm twisted because who was I raised by? The greatest psychologist, not just coach, Scotty Bowman, right? How many times did we question what he would do, right? Whether making moves or not making moves, lineup changes, have a great day, or whatever else. But at the end of the day, what'd you do? You trusted the process and you went, all right, he knows better than me. We're not there yet because Brad Holmes doesn't have the credentials in his back pocket that Scotty Bowman did or whatever. But to me, if you're in and you're stoked and you're not scared, this is all part of it. Now, you can be disappointment. There can be, you can wonder, you can question, but at the end of the day, you got to stick to it. This is what happens to all good teams. And if we talk about this, Neal, you're not playing with the same card, the same deck as what the San Franciscos are because they've made the choice to use the salary cap and get rid of all their draft picks. You're making your team buy a draft pick. You're in a totally different kitchen. So you just got to let it cook. And yes, I see that when the things around you of other teams are doing it, I get it, but you got to look at what your guy, and do you trust your guy? So you're either in or you're out. You're either stoked or you're not scared. And this is part of it. It's not going to get easier because why? Because you're legit.
Absolutely. And look, we're going to take the first hour. I can already tell how this is going to go because emotions are running high. And I was stunned on so many levels yesterday. Number one, and BMG, I don't know if we can you get the Brad Holmes slander up there? You got it up there? You got it loaded? You're ready to rock with? Let me know when it's up there because we took a small sample. We got it up there right now. BMG sent me this, just a screenshot of a Brad Holmes search on Twitter. This man was dragged all over Twitter by Lions fans. And apparently, D-Mac, we forgot. Apparently, we forgot that, 24 months ago, you're sitting here with Trey Flowers and Jamie Collins costing you $19 million in cap space to not be on the team. And all of a sudden, all that goes out the window. And you got people on there, he's not the guy everybody thought he was. What are we doing? What are we doing out there? If you don't get me Max Crosby, I don't give an F. Be better.
Does it ever come down to it, too, where the fact that maybe these teams that were dealing, the price for the Lions was higher? It's not. Do people not understand is that if somebody, you're looking at the Lions roster and who, for example, right, the Chase Young for a third rounder, maybe it was a third and a fourth to Detroit. You can't, it's not across the board depending on what it is. At the end of the day, do you trust your guy or you don't? Here's the thing, Neal. I'll forgive, but I ain't going to forget. Let's start taking receipts. It's a process. How can you want him to deviate from what they're doing, right? And you know what? If it is Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell guys, then so be it because they're not there. To me, the most ludicrous thing is that if you don't win this division or win a playoff game that it's not a successful season. Come on. It's steps. And you're at the beginning of your window. Teams like San Fran are at the end of their window. I just don't understand it. And people are going to be the way they want. They're going to say that stuff, but to me it tells me that you're not all the way in that you need to be. But but again, you know what it is? It's all the way in 2023, not 1997.
Right.
Do you understand that? There's a different growing up, that there's a different all in. If you think back, we went through the same things, even worse. As part of our team, we were too Russian, too European. We weren't tough enough. We were never going to do it.
Right. Until you did it.
But right on. And everybody questioned a lot of moves of Scotty Bowman. And I'm not comparing Brad Holmes to Scotty Bowman, but I'm comparing the fact that he has a plan. And they all have a plan.
And D-Mac, to take that even a step further, he has a plan that has yielded mega results. Not just kind of good results, mega results. In a 12-month window, they've gone from 1-6 to the number 2 seed in the NFC. In 12 months?
Does anybody think of this? Right? Because we're all like, oh, Chase Young, Montez Sweat, all this stuff. What happens after the season? Because Detroit will be a destination, right? It's becoming a destination for free agency. What happens if before the beginning of next season, you have that guy at the dollar and signed to have? I know you don't have it right now, but obviously Sweat and Young weren't their guys. Your guy's going to be there. You're going to get your guy. I just think that window, they're ahead of schedule. Can we not agree?
Absolutely.
And that's the frustrating part. Everybody thinks we got to mortgage everything on the future because you think you have a greater chance. I don't think so. I think that the whole game plan was included the draft coming up this year. Then
right.
You can do things.
No, and we're going to get into it. I want to get into the Spenmo thing, what he talked about on heavyweights last night. I wanted the fans to get their reaction as well, and I want D-Mac to tell everybody about Dispo.
Absolutely. Experience Dispo Romeo just down the road, a team that curates an exclusive atmosphere mixed with fresh inventory from Michigan's largest variety of products. First ever cannabis ball of its kind. Conveniently located off of Van Dyke and 32 Mile in Romeo. Dispo Romeo is now open late night until midnight every day except Sunday. Can it get any better than that? I think not. Dispo Dispensary, DispoShops.com, your local cannabis plug.
And on that Sunday night when Dispo's closed, you know what you can do? Slide over to Fairway Packing Company, get some steaks, and throw them on the grill. Because for over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company's provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, dry-aged beef, pretty much every good steak you've ever had in a restaurant. Chances are that it came from Fairway Packing Company. You can visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks. I did it. Got the best ribeyes I've ever had in my life. Brought them home from there, unpackaged them, seasoned them, let them sit there for a few minutes, tossed them on the grill, and away we went. Best steak experience of my life. Fairway Packing Company. Go to fairwaypacking.com.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer, Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Holton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Everybody ever wondering what to do for the Lions pregame? Well, we have at Woodward Sports, and you guys all like that. Mikey, you like the long drink, right? Long drink. Exactly.
Drink.
We're downtown, Eastern Market, Shed 5, a few hours before every game. Woodward Sports Tailgate. Yeah, it's back. You can pregame with Woodward Sports. We treat it like a VIP. Food, beverages, entertainment, all included. How do you do it? You go to bullseyeeventgroup.com or you win some from Woodward Sports today. Just subscribe to the YouTube, follow on IG, and direct message Lions VIP.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. We're live at Planet Fitness in Shelby Township, 23 Mile and Van Dyke. Neal Rhul, Darren McCarty. We got JB Smoove, Big Mike Gentry. Westy has made a celebrity appearance. We got Joey out here as well, getting everything ready for Ermanni and Edwards from 2 to 4 o'clock. And, Joey's got to get Maz's ice for his Diet Pepsi and Diet Coke or whatever it is that he drinks. So he's out here doing that, and we are getting ready. So let's get into it, everybody. I would like to congratulate the San Francisco 49ers for obtaining in a trade the 4-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year, the man that walks on water, the man that doesn't even have to fly to San Francisco. He descends from the heavens and graces the 49ers with his presence. The greatest defensive football player the NFL has ever seen in Chase Young. Ever seen. It's over. Shut it down. I think the Lions should just, forfeit the rest of the games because Chase Young is playing for the 49ers, D-Mac. I think we can leave now. Well, see you later.
Absolutely. Exactly. Right? And here's the one thing, Neal, where you talked about last segment about what Brad Holmes did is get the salaries right, get the guys, the Trey Flowers guys off the books, the Jamie Collins and stuff like that. To me, he didn't want to add a Chase Young for $20 million. There's a price tag at the end of this, and you're not going to get Montez Sweet for a rental and stuff like this. So there's, don't just think so linear, guys. It's about what the player on the field and plug and play. There's so much behind this, and I think that's where I'm confident that Brad Holmes has a grasp on this team. What he wants to do. If the right deal would come through, I'm sure he would have made it. I like what he did, right? 6th round for Donovan Peoples-Jones. I mean, it takes that spot for where Marvin Jones was. It gives you another guy that's been in this league, a guy that's got some deep threat. It doesn't mean that you've put all your deep threat in the Jameson Williams bucket. Maybe it helps make him better. So, I mean, that was the move to be made for this team because that's what Brad Holmes said.
Tyler Shantz, and I do have to address this too. Woodward Heavyweights, very fine show from 5 to 7. Spencer Raxter, guy that works on our show, yesterday took to the airwaves, and Tyler Shantz kind of recaps it here on the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Spenny said we cannot beat San Francisco, Seattle, or the Eagles because of their moves. So adding Chase Young, a guy who the Washington Commanders would not even exercise the 5th-year option.
What does that tell you? Let's start there.
Let's just start right there, D-Mac.
Start right there. Right, Chase Young, what did he go overall?
Number 2 overall.
Number 2 overall, right? In this NFL league, right, what do we talk about? You talk about rookie contracts, right? A number 2 overall pick that you have a free extra year, so to speak, on the extension, and you said, no, dude, I'm good. I'm good, bro. Just, when you're done, you're done. What does that red flag you? Right? Obviously, red flag, and I'm not even talking character, right? Because I'm not saying that, but it red flags the patella. It red flags that injury of what they think long term. What's going to happen when first game or second game Chase Young goes out, or any of these guys that have traded for, right, have an injury or go out? Is everybody going to be, oh yeah, you know what? Oh, I knew it. It would have been a bad trade. Don't flip-flop on it now, because I'm sure that went into it. It's not like Brad Holmes just sat there and went, no. I'm sure they had a deep conversation about somebody impactful like this, bringing it in. But at the end of the day, weighed the pros and the cons and went, no, because that's just going to take us back a step.
Okay, let's just cut the ish. All right, Tim Wilson here in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. You wanted it, you got it, bro. Okay, here we go. You guys are so freaking blind. Young gives back a comp pick, so it was nothing. You're ignoring this is a Super Bowl window now, not next year. Now, no, Tim, this is a Super Bowl window for the next half a decade. Look at the way this man has built the foundation of this football team. Stop with that. I know that we're new to this, right? Like, I know that we're new, and we haven't seen this before, Tim Wilson, but here's the deal. This team is built to last. I'll say it. I'm not just going to sit here and say, oh, my God, we're never going to get back to this point ever again. No, I'm not going to say that. Because the foundation's built to last. It's here for a while. There's pillars to this football team. This isn't a now or never. Now the Philadelphia Eagles, they're a little bit further down the highway right now. They are. The Detroit Lions right now, as they sit, do not have to make panic moves, do not have to answer what anybody's doing. And oh, by the way, you notice anything? Like, where are the question marks with the 49ers? Where are the question marks? Did they address any of the question marks you guys have? Because you guys, all of you sat there and said, boy, Brock Purdy ain't it. When Lindsey Hunter was sitting here on Monday, you're like, oh, ha, ha, he. Hey, Lindsey, Brock Purdy, man, he ain't it. He ain't it, ha, ha, ha. Did they fix their weakness? The thing that you're most concerned about, did they address that? No, they did not.
You know what the thing is, too? If you keep hitting like Brad Holmes does on drafts, that guys that keep continuing to play, look at where your team's at. That's what they keep bringing guys in here that'll play. He hasn't had to make that Hail Mary move yet, right? Because he hasn't missed on his guys and what they're building. Yes, the window is now, but aren't we at the beginning of our window, right? To
yes.
What you said, this could be 4 or 6 years because of
how
well you've drafted guys that can play.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Kevin Bell, Debo's hurt all the time. Tricia Miller, please have a team meeting with your morning crew of whiners. Lucas Klott's here. We're going to talk to him in a little bit. There's no question about that. Thomas says, Washington fans are not crying over losing him. Again, I missed all these Defensive Player of the Year's award that Chase Young and, his torn Achilles and stuff like that has won. Is he a fine player? Sure, he's a very fine player. And for the comp pick people out there, you guys understand, right, that somebody has to sign him to roughly a $22-ish million a year deal to get the full value of that comp pick that you say is just guaranteed. You see what I'm saying here? And if you want to tag him, you want to go that route, you're kicking in $23-ish million right there. I'm not interested in that much money for Chase Young. I'm not. Sorry, guys. I'm not. So, and I'm not into it for a rental either. Like, it's just, and guess what? Through all of it, he's not Brad Holmes' guy. This culture that you guys talk about, that all summer long we took the text on from everybody. The all of a sudden Holmes slander people now. The culture thing's big to them, guys. I don't know what to tell you. Not their guy. I missed this when Montez Sweat and Chase Young, who are perennial underachievers with this Washington Commanders team that have never done anything, have morphed into this franchise-saving, Super Bowl-winning tandem that's going to put the NFL on notice.
You know what it is? You know who all the noise is from? It's the Jalen Carter group. This is the Jalen Carter recess when the wave comes that you miss to whatever else that is always going to question, oh, we should have done this, we should have done that. You nailed it as far as whether you like it or not. There's a culture being built there that you have to be one of their guys. And you know what I like too? Because look at the veteran presence in that locker room. Do you think Brad Holmes, with the relationship that even we see being shown, right, just publicly, right, with his team, that he doesn't go to the Cam Suttons and the C.J. Gardner-Johnsons and all these veteran guys in his locker room to know the culture and whatever else, if this guy would fit or not. That's bigger right now than talent, whether you like it or not, because they're there and they've proven that. So that culture, whether you don't like it, and I hear everybody screw culture. No, because when you screw culture, you're going to be back to what we have been for 30 years. So you know what? Suck it up, Buttercup. It's their show, and you better be along for the ride, or else you're going to sit here, bitch and moan. But I get it as the remnants to the Jalen Carter, what we didn't get, what we need, this guy and that guy. So that's where the rumbling is.
I guess my overriding point with all this, and Coquet says John Lynch and Brad Holmes are the best GMs in the game. And I will give John Lynch, I'm not going to sit here and slander John Lynch. No, I
don't think it's too early for Brad Holmes, right? But he's more on the Panay stool. He's on his way.
No question. But my thing too, like the way that, and I fell victim to this. I'm not going to lie about this. I fell victim to this, where I even caught myself anointing the 49ers. And then guess what happened? They went on the road for a couple games. Purdy was kind of mid the last 3 weeks. And what was the result? They're 4-3, and they're struggling right now. Because when you lose 3 games in a row in this league, you're struggling. That's a fair statement. And when you say John Lynch is one of the best GMs in the game, yes, I agree with you. The track record and the mastery of the comp picks and all that kind of stuff. I get all that. But remember this, too. Again, what's their biggest question mark? What's their biggest question mark? Brock Purdy. John Lynch's fate as a GM, the fate of the franchise, rides on Brock Purdy. And you guys, all of you on Monday, were laughing about that. Laughing about it. You were. That's a factual statement. They were. So through all this roster accumulation, the Nick Bosa and everything like that, see, guys, here's the whipsaw of what everybody's talking about. And people are saying, well, we got to see if the Lions can beat good teams and in the playoffs and stuff like that. So do the 49ers. Because, D-Mac, what did they ultimately do last year? What did they do?
They came up short.
They had a running back playing quarterback down 31-7 in the NFC Championship game. And you can tell me if, because of this, because of that, that's what the reality was. So they got questions to answer. Don't act like they're just some super team dominant force. And guess what, too? When John Lynch had his team in the Super Bowl, who was quarterback? Jimmy Garoppolo. That's who he hitched his wagon to.
Well, he didn't really have a choice. I mean, and
see what I'm
all
saying?
of these, he hasn't had a choice. But to the bigger picture, right? Right, San Fran's doing the old, hey, look over here, right? The blatant thing is still their quarterback that they didn't address. So we'll see. The injuries that are happening to them are for real. So I'm not mad, dude. Like, Chase Young is not your guy. You just want guys that are going to help your team win. And obviously these guys didn't think that those guys would help, so I'm good with it.
EFOG3, maybe there weren't any Brad Home guys to trade for. I mean, yeah, obviously there weren't because he didn't go get anybody.
And you're not in a position where you have to make a move. You nailed it, Neal. You said that. You're not in a position where you have to go out and make that move.
No, you don't.
Don't deteriorate from.
It's got to fit what he wants to do. It's got to fit what he wants to do. Steve O'Baby, how is Brad Holmes the best GM in the game? That's ridiculous, Neal. Steve O'Baby. He took the Lions from 1-6 to the second seed in the NFC in 12 months. Would Jesus be able to? That man turned water into wine. Could he do that? I don't know.
Right. He's trending. I'm not going to put him up there as best in the league, but he's trending as the best one.
He did the football
young
equivalent.
One without a playoff win.
He did the football equivalent of turning water into wine.
Okay.
Jamie Collins and Trey Flowers, $20 million of your salary cap, and they're not on your team to this. I think he's earned the right. I think he has earned the right to say, hey, I'm sitting this one out. And for Spencer to come on here and say, we can't beat any of these teams now. Nah, man.
I don't like it either.
Nah.
I don't like it
either. Nah,
either.
bro. I'm not prepared to go there. And so you know what? For like Spenny and the Lucas, we'll talk to Lucas in a little bit too. For those kinds of people, then I guess you're never going to go to a live stream watch party again and stand up there and cheer and do all that kind of stuff, right? Because it's over. According to you guys, you can't beat anybody. So why would you take your time and do it?
The biggest thing the biggest thing to me is the fact that if you win the division and win a playoff game, it's not a successful season. That's BS.
Yeah,
it's all building. But you know who knows that, Neal?
Guardian Alarm.
Guardian Alarm. Locked in to that. Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts, professional technicians. Take the time to recommend security and automatic solutions specific to your needs. But I need you to call Guardian Alarm today. The number 1-800.
Stay out.
24/7 professional monitoring. Call anytime, day or night. Know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as it's needed. But I need you to call the number 1-800.
Stay out.
Technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people who have been proven to care. Business, personal, it don't matter. Guardian Alarm, they're there for you. So give them a call today. 1-800.
Stay out.
Stay out of the comments. The rest of Woodward Sports Network. Guardian Alarm, your local security experts. Tell them Big D Energy sent you. Oh, yeah, I got Les Stanford. What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and you offer more products to more people. That is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick, GMC, the same great service that customers have known and trusted. On Woodward Ave, south of 9 Mile, check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today. Find the brand you want, LesStanford.com. Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like a landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, get all your equipment from Outdoor Equip Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan grown, family owned. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Woodward Sports own Tom Massaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
For 5 Iron Golf, downtown Detroit's newest sports bar, 13 TrackMan simulators, certified instructors, and most importantly, a full bar. And a restaurant, too. 5 Iron Leagues are going on right now. You can compete nationwide for a chance to win a trip to the Dominican Republic. Bring a foursome, sign up as an individual. Doesn't matter. Go to 5irongolf.com. Use promo code Woodward10. Get you 30% off your league fees. There's one out in Shelby as well. It's just down the road from where we are here at Planet Fitness. 5irongolf.com to sign up. Keeping it pushing here. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, live from Planet Fitness in Shelby Township, 23 and Van Dyke. East Side, welcome to the East Side, D-Mac. Good to have you.
Appreciate it. Yep. I cruise over these streets every now and then.
I know you do. You're out here in the golf courses. All right, let's cut the ish. Lucas Klotz is here from the Morning Whiner Show. And look, Lucas Klotz, you people, you Spencer Raxter, just keep it off the live streams because I was told by Spencer Raxter, shut it down. They can't beat Dallas. They can't beat Seattle, even though Dallas didn't make any moves. But all of a sudden now they can't beat Dallas either. So just shut it down, Lucas. See you later.
I don't think that Spencer should take the narrative for the whole crowd. This is where, and me and D-Mac talked about this, I still have full trust in Brad Holmes, but I'm allowed to be disappointed in him.
You asked me a question earlier, right?
Yep.
And I think this goes to a lot of people out there. Can I still be behind him but be disappointed? I said absolutely. Because it's parental. Because you don't know, right? Neal and I are swimming in different waters than your generation. And I don't mean that disrespectful.
I'll give it to you.
You haven't seen the things. I've lived them. I've experienced. So I know what's going on. Neal's seen it. Neal's lived it. This is like parenting, right? This is where you don't agree. You don't see the bigger picture of it. You don't know why you didn't get what you wanted for Christmas, or you don't know why you weren't allowed to go stay over at your friend's house. There's a bigger picture of it. But you have to trust the fact. You can be disappointed all you want, but you got to pick your head up after this and get back to work. And not the worst thing is, what good does it do? Right? Yeah, you're disappointed and stuff. Own your disappointment, but still, are you stoked or are you scared? Because I don't like half-assed in or out. I'm built differently. If I say I'm in until I tell you I'm out. And I can tell you I don't like it. I use the Scotty Bowman analogy because you ask all of us, we called him Rain Man, right? 272 toothpicks. Not to his face. What are you, crazy? But, because he was so far ahead of us, I think we have to give Brad Holmes – that respect because of where he's brought us, from where he's brought us to, right? We're begging for water, and now we get to eat at the buffet and have Jimmy John's and coffee and chips and everything else, and you're still complaining that you don't get barbecue chips because there's only plain chips.
My complaint, and where most of my anger came from, is the fact that every NFC, and it's not even the Chase Young thing. I would have loved just a defensive need. I thought we need to go get another quarterback. A Rhul Douglas type of move would have put me above the moon and even more. And it's the fact that all the NFC contenders, and I'm not going to go to the reach that we can't beat Seattle, that we can't beat Dallas. I'm not saying that. I would say right now, just if we're being completely honest, I think the Lions would have a very hard time against Philly or 49ers, but it was like that before. That's why I got so mad that because they don't have to bring him back, but the 49ers and Eagles this year just separated themselves, and I think the Lions had a true shot with the NFC Open to make a splash now. I'm not saying they have to. That's where my disappointment and my anger came from, is like, damn, we make a move like that, I think you cement yourselves as true Super Bowl contenders for 2023. I'm not ruling out 2024.
You don't trust Brad Holmes' judgment then?
I do. That's why I said on the morning show, I'm ready to bury the hatchet, but I'm going to be disappointed. I love the DPJ move. I'm trusting that 1,000%. But I really wish we would have addressed a depth piece at the bare minimum on the defensive side of the ball. The Will Harris game, and people can be like, oh, it was a bad game. Baltimore showed you, if you want to go on the road and play a good team, you have to have more depth than what the Lions have right now in order to make a Super Bowl. The Lions right now are in a position to make a Super Bowl. Whether they're over-exceeding or not, they're in a position to do so, and that's why
they will be for the next 4 to 5 years at a minimum.
They absolutely will.
What if we tell you this, right? And because the writing on the wall is that the disappointment and the sacrifice right now to stay the course benefits you to be able to make this move in the future, but it's not going to take away from you being in this position, right, for the next, like Neal says, 4 years. To me, all I'm hearing is you want to keep up with the Joneses, right? That's all it is. And to me, when you're talking, Neal, I'm thinking, man, slap me in the face. The rest of the NFC looks at Detroit and goes, we got to get better because they're coming. So we got to make these moves too. The move that you needed to make wasn't there for you, right? So you stayed the course. And I think in the long run, it's going to pay off.
I just want you and the Spencer Raxters of the world and the Yeezys of the world
don't put me in the same
energy. Is it just me and Booner doing the live streams now?
Yeah,
These guys aren't invited?
It's down to you too.
Have we heard from Booner?
That might be, no, Booner's on
my side.
Yeah,
no,
because on your side.
Because Booner just did this thing where he gave out Lions 5 or more sacks at 16-1, and guess what? It paid out.
It's there. I was rooting it.
So
the quarterback. Wow.
Well, yeah, but hey, that quarterback, they took a spin at a Super Bowl title with that quarterback. This very same ultimate franchise, this Madden free agency off franchise that's been built in San Francisco that I checked the stats and are 4-3. And Chase Young, a multiple-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year, parachuting in from the heavens.
You don't think that's going to help them, though?
I don't know. Then if he's so great, why wouldn't Washington, pick up his 5th year?
I think Washington is not in a spot. They already have a ton of defensive line depth. They have multiple first-round picks. They got rid of 2 of them, and they still have 2 first-round guys outside there in the interior.
But your choice to not go with your second overall pick is pretty glaring. Right?
I agree, but it's time where they had to do something, and he might have not lived up to that number 2 pick standard, but it's to the point where I don't – and this is where I'm asking you a question here. Why does – so we'll use the 49ers. What is killing their longevity down the road by taking Chase Young when you can get the pick right back for him? And you could even say that I'll say the situation I'll use Rhul Douglas again. You bring in a Rhul Douglas for a comp. What's the word? I can't say the word.
Comp pick. Just call it a comp pick.
A comp pick. Yeah. You get a comp pick for anybody. What longevity are you losing? If he's not a guy, great, move off of him.
Because that's not the fit for this team right now, according to the guy that took you from Trey Flowers and Jamie Collins at $20 million to not play to 6-2, the number 2 seed in the NFC in 12 months. That's why.
But you think that completely throws off the trajectory of the franchise?
It's not a move he wanted to make.
But that's my thing. So I'll agree with it.
Guy that's probably going to be GM of the year.
I'll agree with it. I'll trust it. But I can still be disappointed.
And that's fine.
And I can still be hosting the watch parties.
I just renamed the stream D-Mac and the Bone. That's it. The stream's now called D-Mac and the Bone.
I can still root for the Lions because I trust them. I still think they're going to win a playoff game. They're going to win the division. Nothing has changed in that aspect. I think the only thing that has changed, which has made me disappointed, is the road to the Super Bowl just got a whole lot tougher through the NFC. That's where I'm disappointed.
Where were you before the season as far as Super Bowl contention?
So I thought they had a very far off shot.
Right. So you're still.
So they are closer than you thought.
But you'd say that you're closer to far off shot right now.
I would say they're meeting my expectations as far as Super Bowl, just because I think they were closer before the trade deadline. Trade deadline made it farther away. So I think they're slightly farther than in my eyes.
I would say after this trade deadline that I'm even more encouraged about them. Now look, I still think I think Philadelphia is the class of this right now. I still believe that. They have the inside track at the 1 seed. They're probably going to be the 1 seed. I know they have a tough schedule and stuff like that. They're a very good football team. They're getting to the point where Jalen Hurts that super money's about to kick in a year or two. So they're further down the highway than the Lions are right now.
I see that, yeah.
They're a little more, I don't want to call them desperate because the proof's in the pudding, right? Like they've been to a Super Bowl. They couldn't get it done, but they've been to a Super Bowl. I just don't think that San Francisco is this impenetrable force that I thought they were a month ago. I don't think that. And I think dropping Chase Young into there and Randy Gregory, I don't think that makes them overtake the Eagles. I still don't think they're going into Philadelphia and they're beating the Eagles. I still don't think that, because last year when it came down to that, and look, Brandon Katz, that's a bad take by Neal. 49ers success relies on Shanahan, not Purdy. Well, you know what's
we're not.
Katz. He plays the most important position in sports, and he has to play well for them to win. And you can't end up with your running back at quarterback down 31-7 in the NFC Championship.
And I'm with you, but the thing with the 49ers just did is they saw that problem, and they're like, well, we can't go get another quarterback, so what can we do? We already have enough weapons. We don't need to add more weapons. We need to add more defensive help, because their defense, it still looked great, but it hasn't looked like the 49ers defense of last year.
It hasn't even been what the Lions defense has been.
I would say, you take a 17, 18-game season, I'm taking the 49ers.
So through half the
season,
you don't believe that. Half the season where the Lions' numbers are better than the 49ers' numbers, you still refuse to believe that.
I would still take the 49ers, and this isn't saying that the Lions' defense is bad, but I would definitely take the 49ers' defense over the Lions' defense right now. Absolutely.
Okay, the numbers are against you.
The numbers are, but
hard stats, the hard math is against you.
The eye test is not, though. The 49ers, a lot of their games that they have lost has because their defense is put in short field because Brock Purdy has not been playing his best football, especially late in games.
Well, then what makes you think that's going to change?
Because when they get Trent Williams back, the best offensive lineman in football, Deebo Samuel, I understand he's not always healthy, but when he is healthy, that makes a difference with Brock Purdy.
A lot of ifs, brother.
A lot of ifs
that they didn't address.
They can't address an injury of Trent Williams, who's coming back in 2 weeks. Deebo Samuel will be back in a week or two, and then they did address.
So then by that ilk, then like when James Houston, who's supposed to come back soon, wouldn't that be a? Oh, you're going to be critical of the guy that gets a sack a game?
I like James Houston. I love James Houston, but to act that second year James Houston, who's coming off an injury, is to the equivalent of a Nick Bosa, a Chase Young.
I would take James Houston 100 times over 100 over Chase Young right now.
For the financial aspect, yes, but as a pure player-to-player basis,
because I live in the real world, not my fantasy football waiver wire.
I'm saying for a year, they're not even going to probably have to pay for Chase Young.
You nailed it.
JB Smooth. Chase Young or James Houston?
You nailed it.
Are we really doing this? I'm a Lions fan, but come on.
Yes, we are.
They said James Houston off the IR, coming off a broken leg in his second year.
What is James Houston?
The money is. Brad Holmes is telling you this. Is better for his team.
Yes, I'm not denying that, but if we're going to say that Chase Young is not, especially in the run game, Chase Young is a dominant force in the run game
you want
compared
my hot
to James
take?
Houston.
Chase Young plays maybe 3 games. There's something bigger there.
Okay, how about this?
There's a hot take.
Before we roll the break, Anthony Patterson. Lucas is sounding like Sam Flannel right now. Would you agree with
if
that?
I need to take the Sam Flannel route on this, fine, but I don't understand.
Spike your headset and walk away.
No, I'm not going to do that. But I'm standing my ground. No,
Oh,
me and Flannel,
so he doesn't get laid.
Me and Flannel have intense discussions off camera about very important things, but we're not quite lovers yet. But Brad Holmes, he has my trust.
How can you be lovers if you can't be friends?
You can be more than friends.
But wow, you're just going 80s right there. Baby. I love it.
I don't understand how just having some questions, like you're not able to be disappointed ever in this organization, even if they are.
No, because I've been in the mud for 40 years. That's why.
That's why I have to have a smile on my face at all time, no matter what the move is.
Right now with what he's done, because all the moves have worked.
That's fine,
all
but
the moves have worked.
there are going to be moves that miss. And I'm not saying that he completely is missing right now, but eventually, like, we have to prepare ourselves for Brad Holmes to disappoint us eventually. He's a human being. The man is not a football robot that just spits out.
Yeah, but why are you sitting on? Why are you waiting for it to happen? But no wonder
what
you're
else
not.
Can
no
I
wonder
do?
You're
What
not
else
married.
can I
That's
do?
like dating a girl and
you
you're
want
waiting
me
for her
to
to cheat on you.
Brad Holmes knows way more
Look.
than I do. I'm not saying that. But
So just
from time to
trust
time, I can be like,
hey,
damn.
I can disagree with you. I still got a lot of love, a lot of respect for you.
Lot of love.
You're
Lot
good
of
at
love
what
for
you do.
both,
You're
yeah.
just wrong here.
We can agree to disagree. I
Okay.
still think the Lions are going in right spots. They're on the right track. I'm just a little disappointed in yesterday's trade deadline.
And,
That's all.
and Lucas, you'll be going to the right spot if you go to Big Boy for burger and chicken sandwich season right now at Big Boy. They already got the best burger ever in the Big Boy. What about the new pretzel bacon cheeseburger? More of a chicken sandwich kind of person, the Dolly chicken sandwich, or turn up the heat with the Bob's hot chicken sandwich and upgrade those regular fries. Don't get Brock Purdy fries when you could get Jared Goff fries, like with chili cheese or loaded baked potato fries, and save room for dessert. The Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake or the funnel cake fries. Get your local Big Boy today.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
To any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
You like to win a 100K Vegas getaway. Take your friends and live it up in a city that never sleeps. It's the Centron Energy Sweepstakes. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter for your chance to win. Register at drinkcentron.com/Vegas and buy Centron at your local Meijer store. Centron, the healthier energy drink with great taste.
You got RIP today?
With great taste. Look good, feel
I gotta
great,
let
and
everybody
be
know
the
that.
best
Thank you
version
for
of
reminding me. We'll do
yourself with Centron. Once again, that website, drinkcentron.com/Vegas.
Keeping it pushing here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Rhul, Darren McCarty, JB Smooth, Big Mike Gentry as well. Now, typically we're in the Planet Fitness studios, but today we're just in Planet Fitness here in Shelby Township, 23 Mile and Van Dyke. It is kind of my home area, Planet Fitness, because we're repping the east side. 586, stand up. You know what it is. Repping the 586. But happy to have all of you with us. Subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Jump in there. Get your thoughts out there. Easy has graced us in the chat. The truth is, Brad Holmes doesn't believe in golf this year. No reason to go all in. All right, Easy.
Well, that's the one.
Take that bozo-ness to the 5 to 7 show. Get with Spencer and talk about how the Lions can't win a playoff
Great
game.
segue.
Yeah.
Great segue to your show.
So, okay, Easy. Anyway, but yeah, we're talking about it right now, the NFL trade deadline, and we're chopping it up. Andre says, Lucas going to cry in the car. He might.
Yeah. You going to cry in the car.
Yeah, absolutely. Corey Berry, James Houston, pennies on the dollar. When he's on the field, he gets to the quarterback. And D-Mac, you opened my eyes to that just in the respect of they told you all you need to know about that. He going to go cry in the car. He's got a tear. He's got a tear coming. He's got a tear coming down his eye right now. WoodwardSports.com chat poll right now. Who you want? Chase Young, James Houston. James Houston, 71%. Wow. Why would you turn your back on a multi-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year and the greatest number 2 pick, a better number 2 pick in the draft than Calvin? That's what I've been told.
I believe that they believe Houston's going to come back. He's going to have a recovery, and then you know what? If he's not the guy, then they'll address it more in the offseason. The big thing, too, is you don't have to go out and overpay or settle for somebody else. Why? Because what's changed in your organization, too? You're a destination place. In free agency, people are looking to your team now. It was proven last year, Cam Sutton, C.J. Gardner-Johnson. So that goes into it, too, Neal, don't you think?
Yes. It's all part of it, man. And the overriding thing, here's an angle, too, I haven't heard anybody talk about because they don't live in this world, so they don't think about it. You ever think that maybe, just maybe, the Lions doctors didn't like the medicals? Like, you don't think that the Lions pulled a medical report on Chase Young?
100%.
And I know this. You know, like, this happens all the time in the National Football League.
You're not going to go.
I'm very close friends with a guy that did this for 20 years for the Lions. Like, they pulled the medicals. Maybe they didn't like the medicals, D-Mac. How about that?
I believe that that's a big part of it. That's a big part of it because the writing's on the wall. Why do you not extend? Most guys that are second overall picks or fifth-year extension just get it so it doesn't make the organization look bad, right? Right? They're going to extend a guy so like, oh, we gave him every opportunity. They're deciding not to do that.
Yeah, so, again, that's what it is. That's what it is for me. And, look, there's a ton of other stuff that we're going to get here today. But this is the slander that was in the streets against Brad Holmes. Battle lines have been drawn here in this battle. Battle lines have been drawn. And I don't want to hear.
By Fairweathers.
Yeah, I'm taking receipts. D-Mac's taking receipts. And, look, like that's not like a threat or anything like that. It's just I don't want to hear. I don't want to see some of you that are in the chat right now. I don't want to see it when this franchise gets to a height that we haven't been in 30-plus years. Like, I don't want to hear it then. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see guys like Spencer and Lucas, jumping up and down on the live stream saying, "Yeah, let's go,
they
let's
can,
go."
But they'll be held accountable with remember when until they have a full purge cleanse, right? To never come back from.
But that's it. Like, battle lines are being drawn right now. So again,
but the end of the world tonight, 5 to 7, Woodward Heavyweights. End of the world podcast. There you go.
They make their case for the Lions just punting the rest of the games all season long. But, again, you look at it, and, oh, by the way, too, we talk about how everything's getting right for Ermanni and Edwards. You know one thing Ermanni and Edwards would hate? The show sheet here, we have it, it's like it's front and it's back. Like Ermanni and Edwards, they would hate this. Maz would hate this because they would want it on two separate sheets stapled together so they could just peel it back
the whole time.
You guys, hey, JB Smooth, you're going to have to get that fixed. And I don't know where you're going to get lemons for the water around here. These are freebies I'm giving you right now.
Crap.
Now, lucky for you, there's a fruit market 1 mile up the road that way.
1 mile up.
So you can get, and they can even be organic if you need them. I think they're going to be about $6 a pound or whatever.
Oh,
but
geez.
you can go get organic lemons up there, and I think that will suffice for Mass. Maybe it won't. I don't know.
I have to double check.
Just things to think about, brother. Just things to think about.
I got to get on that.
Yeah, in the meantime, though, that's it. So, WoodwardSports.com, chat poll, boy, tons of votes in there. Right now, who you want? James Houston, 73%. Chase Young, 27%. But you know who has the most important vote in that poll? And he showed you what his vote was?
Brad Holmes. 100 billion%, bro.
I didn't even think about that, D-Mac. That's brilliant by you. Brilliant by you.
But it's just because if you just – I know we want to get excited because this is new and stuff like this, but if there's something that I try to take back experience, I'm cursed by the knowledge that I have of being around and being through situations in my career that I've been. So I try to take and go, okay, it looks like this. It feels like this. Because the one thing, when you talk, the one thing people don't understand about, like, the culture – you have to solidify the ground base. And we're seeing it through all our sports teams by all our GMs. So it's in that trust. So be disappointed, but know that there's a reason why. And if I can explain the why. Now, does that make Brad Holmes right? No, it's going to play out, and we will see. Everybody here, Chase Young goes out and has a career and, defensive player of the year and stuff like this. Well, maybe you missed out, but it wasn't what was best for your team.
Right.
And we've come so far, guys. Why do you want to self-sabotage it right now.
And look, when all this wears off, and I'm not to say like Spenny and Easy and guys like Lucas Klotz, they're not dead to me. Like when the emotion wears off and we settle down maybe into next week, if you want to come up and say, hey, maybe I got a little extra there. Maybe I'm new to this, like having a good football team, and maybe I let the emotion get the better of me. That's fine. I'm a reasonable guy.
Well, it was, trade deadline was on Halloween, and maybe like a little bit too much.
There was a lot going on yesterday.
A little bit too much trick-or-treating, maybe like sugar highs and stuff like this when that wears off.
Yeah,
we'll see.
There was a lot going on yesterday, so we'll forgive, and you know what I'm saying? We'll forgive, and we'll forget.
We'll forgive. We won't forget. Remember that. And you know what? I'll so eloquently bring it up every now and then.
We will. We absolutely will. Coquet, don't listen to the kids hitting the panic button. The grown men who are on this show are stoked, not scared. And Coquet, you know what? Like it did fortify my stance on that. Because you know what it did? You know what this all did? And I want to discuss this when we get back coming into the second hour. It fortified my stance because I took a deep look at what's around. And I was just kind of living in my own bubble as a Detroit sports fan, just kind of taking the games as they came. And look, I handed out the pick. I knew the Ravens were going to win. And guess what? In a week, guess who I'm going to pick in the Chargers game? I'm going to pick the Chargers because I think that's a spot in the schedule they lose. Because I don't think they're going 15-2, so you got to start working backwards and look at where the losses are. You got to look at where the Chargers are in their season. They're going to beat the Jets on Monday night. They're trying to rally the troops. It's a spot. You know, I always talk about spots.
No,
that's probably where I'll be.
100,000,000%.
But unlike Spenny, I'm not going to sit there and say they can't win a playoff game or anything like that. So when we come back, we'll talk to some of our friends from Planet Fitness, and I want to give you the epiphany. I want to give you the epiphany that I had as far as the Lions were concerned. Tell them about Swiss Insurance, JB Smoove.
I got Swiss.
Oh, you got Swiss.
You have football on the brain. Follow us in college and professional sports. And this year it is awesome. Fall's also the perfect time to shop your homes and auto insurance. Shop it like a pro with Swiss Insurance. They cover Woodward Sports Network, and they should be covering you too. Ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today at SwissINS.com or call Mark 248-800-4177.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
You guys tired of wearing the same old tired Detroit sports merchandise? When we got you set up, go to woodwardsports.com/shop. Get it in there. The Stoke Not Scared t-shirt. Spencer Raxter doesn't need one. Lucas Klotz doesn't need one. But you do, because you understand the smart moves that the Detroit Lions made or did not make yesterday. Football, baseball, basketball, hockey, we got you covered. There's a Woodward Sports golf line as well. woodwardsports.com/shop. Stoke Not Scared, everybody. Don't talk about it. Be about it. woodwardsports.com. Welcome to the second hour of the show, everybody. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal, Rhul, Darren, McCarty. We got JB Smoove in the house. We got Big Mike Gentry as well. We're live at Planet Fitness here in Shelby Township, 23 and Van Dyke. Happy to be joined right now by the general manager here at the Shelby Plaza location. That is Allison Wetter. Allison, appreciate you taking some time.
Absolutely.
Good to
Thanks for
talk to
having
you.
me.
Yeah, good
Love
to talk
it.
to you guys again. I love it.
Love having you here.
Yeah, absolutely. Chase Young, is he the savior? No, we're kidding. We're not going to go there with you, Allison.
I wouldn't.
Yeah,
It'll
see?
be embarrassing.
Yeah, all right, there you go. No, but again, appreciate you guys having us out here. And look, I've talked about it. You know, Planet Fitness, big time. You know, backer of Woodward Sports and what we're doing.
Oh yeah.
We're a big believer in Planet Fitness as well. So I guess, Allison, you know, just kind of start right there with it. Woodward Sports, Planet Fitness. I'm about it. I do have a question. The people have asked me about this before.
Yeah.
There are no plans to add rock walls to Planet Fitness, right?
Not that I know of. Not that I know of, or swimming pools. We're not doing those. So not our game.
See, there you go. Absolutely, because people are out there paying $80, $90 a month for their gym membership, and
Yeah.
I'm not about that life. No, but Allison, you know, here at the Planet Fitness in Shelby Township, you guys have come synonymous with the Detroit sports scene, like the official gym of the Pistons, and Woodward Sports Network Studios, all of that. You guys are very entrenched in the sports community here.
We are. We most definitely are. We partner with all of them. I know with being a Planet Fitness employee, we do get discounts on tickets for all these games too. So it's fun to go and be a part of them. I went to the home opener for the Red Wings game, and it was fantastic.
What a great, and the atmospheres and being a part of it. And obviously,
it's awesome.
You know, Planet Fitness. What is one of the things? My question for you is, what is one of the things that we don't know about Planet Fitness?
One thing that we don't know about Planet Fitness. Wow.
Yeah, it's a tough question.
That's a
the
trick question.
The big thing for me, like walking in here and stuff like this, is not only the cleanliness, right? Everywhere you walk, every inch of this place. So for anybody else, and I think that obviously, coming out of the COVID and being a parent to that.
Yeah.
I love the fact, you know, with the Wi-Fi and the connection to whatever else, it makes it as easy as possible to do. A lot of us out there, listen, some of us are Chris Drapers, right? Where you get sick if you don't work out. And some of us are Darren McCarty's, where you get sick if you do. But Planet Fitness makes it as easy as possible. And, you know, my pal Neal here, who just did a half marathon, is in here every day.
But D-Mac, I'll step in with that. Like, the one thing that I don't know about Planet Fitness, there is nothing I don't know. That's why I'm a member at Planet Fitness. When I roll in anywhere around town, there's over 50 of them in Metro Detroit, it's always the same.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it.
You know the name of the game.
I know the name of the game.
It's easy. It's simple. Come in, do what you got to do. Go on about
your day. Shower in the facilities, everything like that. But no, we are talking here. And look, we are getting to the holiday season. What kind of community things will Planet Fitness be doing? And for all the people that are members, and there's a lot out there that watch the show, I know the boxes will be around soon, right?
The boxes are coming. Yep, we're partnering with Toys for Tots this year. So we're going to be collecting a bunch of toys for the kids. We just finished another donation for the Boys and Girls Club. Raised, I believe, over $20,000 for them. So that was huge, very huge for us. So the boxes are coming to your gym. So
I'll be bringing the toy. I'll be bringing the toy, no doubt about it. Joined by Allison Wetter here, the GM of the Shelby Township location. Big D Energy, Neal, Rhul, Darren McCarty, live from Planet Fitness. So, Allison, I understand you're getting married soon.
I am. 11 more days.
11 days?
11 days down in Florida. So
that's smart. How's the weather supposed to be a little bit nicer?
It's supposed to be 71 and sunny. So I am very excited to head down there and hopefully bring some sunshine back. That's the plan.
So all the details are hammered out?
Details are done. Just got to pack the car and head on out.
All right, so there it is.
I like it.
So I just had my 20th wedding anniversary.
Congratulations.
Yeah, well, it was in August, so it wasn't like it was that soon ago.
Still a big thing.
You know what? I would say to you, the biggest piece of advice is you run the show.
I can do that.
That's it. That's
all. Honestly, right?
Yeah, that's easy.
No. So you run the show here at Planet Fitness.
Yeah.
You run the show in the marriage as well.
What is your fiance's name?
Matt.
Matt. We all know. Look at the job she does at the Planet Fitness. You're in great hands, young man. Great hands, young man. And you know what? The bottom line, just like when I go to Planet Fitness or I come in here, if I don't know, I'll ask. Good one, right?
Good one.
Good one.
There you go.
Good one.
Allison, we certainly do appreciate the time.
Yes.
With D-Mac.
And Allison, too, we appreciate you guys having us out here.
Absolutely.
And again, I'm a big Planet Fitness guy. I'll never be a member at another gym. A, I don't need a rock wall. B, there's over 50 of them in Metro Detroit. C, there's over 2,400 of them around the world. I go to South Florida a lot, Coconut Creek. Boom, I slide right in there. Nothing changes. I love it.
Awesome.
Congratulations on the
Thank you.
upcoming wedding, by the way.
Thank you so much.
Matt, she
Appreciate
runs the
it.
show, bro. Just so you know.
Thank you, Allison.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having
All right,
us.
absolutely.
it.
So, again, thanks to Allison. Oh,
Thank
by the way,
you.
the WoodwardSports.com chat thread saying congratulations,
Thank
by
you.
the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
There you go.
That's awesome.
All right. Allison,
Cool.
thank you very much. So,
Thank
yes.
you.
And, hey, congratulations to them. They're getting 11 days, man. The
They
pressure
all say
cooker.
Maddie wins. Maddie won in this deal, so we don't even know Maddie, but they're all like, Maddie, you're a winner, bro.
There's a phrase we use, outkick the coverage, so
That's
so
because
that is
we
it.
know it, Neal.
Yep.
We all know it sitting here.
No, absolutely.
I wasn't gonna tell her third time's a charm, right? So she didn't know that. Need to know that. So good luck.
No, absolutely. But no, just getting into the Lions discussion and the NFL trade deadline and things like that. Look, I kind of had an epiphany a little bit that this Chase Young thing really knocked me. Peaceful Tim, poor Matt, Neal just sold him out. No, it's reality. Allison
Why
runs
can't
the
you help
show.
a brother out and let him know the way that it really is?
What are you
before he
walking
really
into?
gets into it.
Yeah.
That's the problem with all yous out there that don't do that. Help a brother out. God.
Oh, man. Okay, so here's the
I'm
deal.
here for you, man.
You are, absolutely. Here's the deal, D-Mac. This is kind of the epiphany I had. And I was one, I said this before we went to break, I was one that kind of crowned the 49ers. And I said they play with such physicality. Like, even on offense. Like, Deebo Samuel is a physical dude. Even when he catches the ball, he's going to make you pay a price. But you know what happened along the way over the course of the last 3 weeks? And this is what happens to you, D-Mac. And I'm going to run this by you. You probably heard me say this before, but I want your experience on this. The 49ers, we saw it last year, and you can say, well, it's because he got hurt or whatever. Well, he did get hurt. Your biggest question mark is always the thing that does you in the end in sports. I've got years of experience in this. You know, college basketball, when a team loses in the tournament, what they don't do well is 9 times out of the 10 the thing that bounces them out. The 49ers, with Brock Purdy, they have hit a bump in the road. They are not this all-knowing super team. Now, the Eagles, that's a different discussion because there's question marks about them. I look up, but they're 7-1. The 49ers right now have warts. They do. I got seduced. I got caught up in the sizzle, not the steak. They have warts. I don't think that this trade deadline move of getting Randy Gregory and Chase Young makes them mercurial. That's just what I believe. I have questions about Brock Purdy.
You know what comes up in my mind, right? The one thing with San Francisco, it's they haven't adjusted to the injuries. Injuries are a part of the league, availability. But the Lions have done such a better job, and maybe one of the best jobs in the league with next man up, right? I go back to Dan Campbell, 2021, saying, paraphrasing the quote, is that I realized that I had to believe that every starter would go down, and what would we do? We're doing a hell of a lot better job. And what do we have because of how we're built? Youth, right? Guys that get out there. What is San Fran? They're a little long in the teeth. Injuries is a big part, even to their biggest question mark at quarterback, right? Can he get it done? Now, I think you're on the same page as me. When they are at full capacity, when they are 100% healthy, yeah, he's the right guy for the job. But when they don't have Deebo, when McCaffrey's banged up, when there's some question marks on their defense, even in their linebacking core, best linebacker in the league, Fred Warner. But you see him and Greenwell and some of these guys, they're getting injured, missing plays and stuff like that. So there's a chink in the armor there. I think that the youth, the availability, that's what it comes down to. With San Fran, the spotlight will always be on Brock Purdy until he proves that he can do it. And right now, that's where the chink in the armor.
DJ says, for the last 5 years, 49ers quarterbacks have been non-existent in the playoffs. And at the biggest, whenever I see them exiting, there's been a common theme to it all. The quarterback's been less than. The quarterback play has been less than. People talking to in the Woodward Sports.
It reminds me of?
What's that?
Reminds me of Edmonton goaltending. It reminds me of, these star NHL teams or whatever, and what is the one thing if they don't get to the next level, what do they usually look on, right? It's the goaltending in the NHL.
Right.
This is the same. Like San Fran is, and I guess they could be the Edmonton Oilers of the NFL. What you're supposed to be with the super talent you're supposed to have, but at the end of the day, you can't get over that hump.
Right.
And that hump is Philadelphia.
No, it is, and people are talking about that.
Us.
And Catspot says, notice Neal's not talking about the Eagles because the Eagles would destroy the Lions. Here's the other thing, guys. Like, everybody wants
the Eagles
this.
Are destroying.
Yeah, here, everybody wants this. In Michigan, like Michigan fan, and I think maybe the Michigan thing that is peppering through there right now. Here's the deal, guys. At some point, you do have to rise up and beat somebody. At some point, you're an underdog, and you have to win a game. So, yeah, would the Eagles be favored in the game? Yes, they would. Would we take that right now? Yes, we would. And I'll take what they have going into that game more than what I would take what the Cowboys have going into that game. 100% I would. And, again, to me, this Lions team, what they do, what is their elite trait, their offensive line. Now, look, they were without Ragnow. They got questions. They persevered. They still won football games. But I'll take here's the moral of the story, guys. I'll take my chances with what I got. And I don't hate my spot.
You don't hate your spot because what if at the worst, Neal, you're only going to get better from where you're at right now. This team is only going to get better.
Steve Wild says if the Lions played in Philly right now, Philly would win by 4 touchdowns. Okay, I'll take the Lions plus 27.5 then. Yep. I'll take that. So don't just go up here and talk ish, dude. It would lose by 4 touchdowns. All right, I'll take the Lions in 27.5 in that game. What do you want to do? Bottle E.H. Taylor? Single barrel Old Forester? What do you want to do? Put it on me. I'll take that. Book that, Steve Wilds. We'll do that one in a second. Hey, let me tell you about the Detroit Lions post-game show. You know the legend, Tom Mazaway. He pops the collar. You know the legend stick. They were doing it. Thousands of you were watching after the Monday night football game. We're doing Lions football better than anybody in this town. Yes, even that flagship network as well. Check the numbers, guys. Flip open YouTube. See the sub numbers. Who's doing it better? We are. That's why. That's what it is, and we're doing it better than they are. So come on in, jump on the winning team here, and tap into the Woodward Sports Detroit Lions post-game show. Hey, we're live at Planet Fitness here in Shelby Township, 23 Mile and Van Dyke. We're literally in the Planet Fitness studios here today. And, guys, they gave me the corporate speak and the tagline and stuff like that. You guys saw it if you watched the morning show. JB Smooth, I was getting it in. And I went light. Today was a light running day. It was only 4 miles today, JB Smooth.
Today
that was
a light
it.
Day?
So tomorrow's the 10K day. We'll step it up to 6 tomorrow.
I hit the snooze 4 times.
You hit the snooze 4 times. But hey, you've done some cardio in your life. You get the pass. So no, but guys, look, I'm bottom lining with you with Planet Fitness right now. I'm a Black Card member. I pay for it myself, $24.99 a month. It's the best value of anything I pay for in my life. I use it all the time. I can go all around the country. I go to any Planet Fitness. There's an app on my phone. I scan the app. I walk in. I can bring a guest anytime I want. I can use all the facilities. It is the best value of anything I've purchased in my life. So if you guys are thinking about jumping in the gym game, you haven't yet, Planet Fitness is the play. I'm telling you, don't be paying $100 a month for a rock wall. You don't need a rock wall. You just need a place that's available that you scan your app and you come in and you get your work in. It's Planet Fitness. Go to planetfitness.com, pull in the parking lot, go there. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Let's talk about Outdoor Equip, co-official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan-grown, family-owned, bad boy mowers, tractors, steel handhelds, weed whippers, Liberty trailers, Generac generators, Snow X plows, and salters. Bottom line, Outdoor Equipment has it all. You can buy it, you can rent it, 0% financing. They'll even deliver it to your doorstep. OutdoorEquipCode.com. Tell them Big D Energy we sent you.
Keeping it pushing, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, live at Planet Fitness in Shelby Township. Shout out to Chris's Sports of all sorts. Welcome to the Woodward Sports crew. Also, Aaron Graves as well. They're jumping into that WoodwardSports.com chat thread. We got the show poll going right now. Who do you want, Chase Young or James Houston? 73% of you say you would prefer James Houston. All $800,000 a year of them.
Absolutely. Again. Let's see, 20,800,000. Anyways, little housekeeping, Neal. Rest in peace. Is a Thursday edition.
Yes,
because we're not at the studio. We don't have.
Yep.
We don't listen. We do everything else shoestring except rest in peace. We're gonna do it right back in the studio.
Absolutely,
that's our baby.
BMG put all the work into that production.
BMG just said no, nothing today. He just went. He did. He went. Undertaker sort of.
I have a get right tomorrow. Are we complete with the get right intro? Have we laid down some music bed on top of that yet, or no? We haven't got that far yet. If it were Ermanni and Edwards, would it be done? No. It would be. I know.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's saying yes, it would be done. JB Smoove is saying it would have been done last week.
Maybe for Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't know. You'll take the fall. You'll take the fall for that. So, yeah, but. Again, the discussion, the Chase Young, all that kind of stuff, and that is what it is. But yeah, the Chase Young thing, a franchise tag for him for next year. If they wanted to go that route, they'd be looking at about $22 to $23 million. For them to get maximum comp picks that everybody's saying is just a God-given right, he would have to sign a deal among that maximum tier as well, also put up the kind of numbers that would necessitate that. Also, did you see the breaking news from the NFL this morning, late last night / this morning? The Raiders have fired head coach Josh McDaniels and their GM Dave Ziegler. Rumbling started late tonight. Now the team has made it official. The Lions broke them. They broke them.
Dude, I'm going to have to get another rest in peace because that was my rest in peace for this week was Josh. You know how I like to put freaking coaches in the blender. Here's the one thing that I asked you, though, right? Because I was listening. I don't even know what I was listening to, but I heard a rumbling that the GM, who was the GM that was fired for the Raiders?
Ziegler.
That he knew it was coming. He didn't answer his phones. Trade deadline. I'm out of here.
So he just pieced out?
I don't know if that's true. I'm just saying that could be the case because there's nothing that came out of Las Vegas. But if he was on the way out and he thought he was on the way out and then he didn't do anything to help the organization, or that might be a reason for anybody who's upset. Not that they were going to get rid of Max Crosby or stuff like this, but do you think that there's some legitimacy behind that?
I would hope not.
People that petty?
No, because I wouldn't do it. Look, we know that we're the minor league show to Ermanni and Edwards. Do I let that affect me? Do I give a less than effort because I know that I'm the minor league show to Ermanni and Edwards and they get all the resources? Hey, JB Smoove, are you guys changing out the headsets when they get here? For real?
Dead serious, yeah.
Dead ass, they're changing. So why didn't we get the headsets?
Because there's only so much battery time.
Is it because I don't complain enough?
It is.
Might be.
Okay, but anyway, so we're the minor league show to that, right? Do I let that affect my professionalism, how I prepare, how I execute the show?
No.
No, absolutely not. So I would hope that an NFL GM would not purposely not take phone calls on trade deadline. But I'll say this, maybe ownership said, you are instructed not to answer the phone because you are not the GM anymore.
Okay, absolutely. But again, that wouldn't surprise me because I didn't think on the professional level that would happen except for the dysfunction out of Las Vegas.
Yeah,
so it's more so that don't do anything.
Steve Reiner says Lions are going to break the Chargers soon, too, and get them all fired also. I don't know. That's a tough spot, man. The numbers are not good, too, for teams in the Eastern time zone that go out to the West Coast after a bye. Those numbers are pretty bad also. Although I did get this, as soon as I got that news, I got the Athletic story about the coaching candidates for the Raiders job.
Now, how high on the list is Ben Johnson?
Not as high as Jim Harbaugh was.
Oh, wow. So what do we think about that? Do we think that's a legitimate, especially after this year?
Well, I get mixed signals on that, right? Because I saw some stories that people said the NFL is not this safety blanket that everybody thinks it is for Jim Harbaugh. You know, that the Minnesota thing was real, and Minnesota said no to Jim Harbaugh. They're like, go eat a sad cheeseburger in their hotel room. We'll see you later. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
But Minnesota and the Raiders, like this is the Raiders. If anybody's going to do something, it's Mark Davis, right?
Yeah,
make a splash.
Make a splash, have a bad haircut.
They got to bring in, it's Vegas. Like that seems way more the way that they're going to go because at least he's got a name. And especially if, God forbid, he wins a national championship.
Yes.
Right? It's all set up.
Honorary U of M dad says, Neal Rhul has microphone headset envy, LOL. No, I don't. Because nobody's going to stop.
I haven't seen them. They don't even let us see that. I didn't know there was new updated toys.
Yes. Jack Harrington, Jim Harbaugh, college football's Richard Nixon. Okay. Lorena Rios, can we please get Justin, a.k.a. Black Mark Davis, on the line to explain the firings? Maybe tomorrow we should make a phone call out to Black Mark Davis. Yeah, we will have to explain the firings.
Well, he could explain if he didn't, if he told them don't answer the phone. That was a mandate.
I do think there's some truth to that. That if he didn't, I like my guy's T-shirt over there, D-Mac. He's got a T-shirt that says "Fistful of Bourbon."
No way. That's your guy.
That's my guy,
He doesn't even know that. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, I love it.
He's getting those traps in too.
Let's go Red Wing Sparty. Can BMG play the Undertaker theme music when the Lions walk away from stadiums?
Oh,
they're breaking teams, no doubt about it, man. So I just thought that was pretty interesting that the Lions shattered a franchise. So again,
time.
It is about time. Premier Pet Supply, huh? Who's got that one?
That would be me. Hold on.
Okay. JB Smooth. Hey, are you this delayed when you're on Ermanni and Edwards?
No, you gotta.
Oh, he's not allowed to talk.
Yeah.
You gotta have everything buttoned up and tightened up on the show.
You'll get it right.
We'll have it right by 2:00. Trust me. But when it comes to your pet, don't settle. Give your pet the best. Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. Family owned and operated for over 30 years. 13 Metro Detroit locations, over 60 brands of foods, lowest prices, and curbside home delivery as well. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best. Once again, that is www.premierpetsupply.com.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel. coming to Woodward Sports. Woodward and Main Street. The Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Just in time for football, Glorious Cannabis is dropping a new ice water bubble hash infused pre-roll called Honolulu Blue. I actually might have to go down to the dispo after this to get one because it's
just
so
on the
good.
road.
It's like the whiff of the first playoff game in 31 years. Gassy, aggressive strain named in honor of Detroit football. If you haven't had one of these ice water pre-rolls, you're missing out. They are so smooth, especially if you like the blueberry. Find them at Dispo Dispensary for 25% off. Use Woodward Glorious or go online, www.gloriouscanna2ns.com.
Keeping it pushing here. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Rhul and Darren McCarty, and Big Mike Gentry and JB Smoove, Ermanni and Edwards with Mass coming up 2 to 4 p.m. here today. But, obviously the NFL trade deadline has been the story of the day. Robert Colosia, the councilman, says, Neal, D-Mac, my buddy who works for the Chargers just texted me and said, the problem with Young is health. And that's, look, guys, there are people who make a lot of money that this is their forte. Much like Stallion does signs, like steel signs, there are medical people who they seek their counsel. Absolutely. It is out there. So, Councilman, I appreciate that. I have heard those discussions too. I'll leave it at that. I have heard those same discussions too. So it is out there. We got this one on the show sheet too. And D-Mac, I think there is a very obvious answer to this. Does the lack of a big move further your expectations of a Goff extension? And I'll say no.
Say irrelevant.
Yeah. The two are not intertwined to me.
No,
but the ratings
never
on the wall.
were.
Right.
I don't know. I was convinced last year that Goff's their guy. How they do it, whether they extend him or they use next year under contract, they could franchise him if there's a different direct. They have options.
Yes,
but he's your quarterback.
Right, and those are the
it's
things.
apples and oranges.
Yes, and those are the things too, where the franchise tag thing is certainly something that's on there. I'd be surprised if they use that at Goff because, but at the same time, you're getting down the road with Hutchinson, with Sewell, with St. Brown. That's certainly something that you can take a look at. Coquet says pay Goff if he keeps playing like he's playing, and there's no sign that that's magically going to change. You see where I'm coming from with that? Like, it's not going to change. So, again,
here's the one thing, and I'll go back to our locker room, right? Back in the 90s, right? When you are building something that you want to be a part of, then there's conversation about everybody sort of, being on the same page, and their agents being on the same page, what we're trying to build here. So these conversations go above and beyond than you're just trying to get the top dollar. Right? There's other things that go into it, and winning I believe is a huge thing.
Right, no doubt. And as far as Jared Goff sits, and there are people in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, and Peaceful Tim says he signed through 2025. Why are we even discussing this? Next year's the last year of Goff's deal. At
right, you still got the next year
at a $31 million cap hit next year. That's what it is. But Peaceful Tim, see, here's the thing. And D-Mac, feel free to chime in. You've lived in this realm before. Guys don't go into lame duck years in professional sports because, it just doesn't happen, especially when they're your quote-unquote the guy you're going to ride with, unless the player wants to, right? You see what I'm saying? Like, if it's up to an organization, they're not going to leave you twisting out there on the final year of your deal, generally. Unless the player wants to.
If they have plans for you in their organization, they're going to take care of you with that year left or the conversations unless you want it. But it could be also, too, depending on where you're at. And I think that I got to think maybe it's a little different in different sports. Like you look at in hockey and the way Steve Yzerman does it with Dylan Larkin. You got to earn it. You got to show me. But when it comes down to time, you're going to get rewarded. And you will be when you show me what you need to show me. So, what do you like? Just speculate. This ain't in stone, but I got to think that maybe he's starts the year next year under contract and then signs an extension, or maybe an extension that's team friendly. If we're trying to hit that $45 million or whatever like that, I think there's conversation, and then you'll know if there's a couple little intricacies in there that he's working. What do we see the top quarterbacks? The Brady's, what did he do all along is try to work it to make the team better.
Right, and he was the exception. He's taking $20 million a year.
Right, so you're not going to take the absolute discount, but what I'm saying is you'll have the conversation to work with. You can't tell me Brad Holmes doesn't say to Jared Goff or his agent, whatever, like that. This is what we're trying to do. Right, we're trying to sign this guy for this and this and this. It's that conversation where they're all sort of be on the same page. Now, you're going to have to pay something, but I think it can work itself out.
Because
Don't we see that elsewhere?
No, absolutely we do. And here's the tact where this is something that I've thought about more and more. With the Lions and with the avenues that they have available to them. Now, this year, the NFL QB franchise tag was roughly about $34-ish million. So here's an avenue that is available to them where they could tag Goff for up to 2 consecutive years. So there is a way where you could almost think of, after this year is over, you could basically have Jared Goff for about 3 years and $100-ish million. $33 million per, because he's 31.5 next year. The franchise tag's about 33, 34, probably go up to like 36, 37 the following year. So maybe that's something that's been discussed, because that is an avenue that's available to them.
But again, then you run the risk of him holding out, right?
There's
risk to doing that, but if he's on board,
that's temperature in the room stuff. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not privy to the temperature in the room. I don't control the thermostat. I don't control the thermostat in my own house. So, Matt, if you're still watching, Allison's fiance, you will never get to control the thermostat again. I don't in my house. Just accept it and move on. So, with that being said, I don't know the temperature in the room for the Lions. I don't know what Jared Goff's temperature in the room is. And, look, is it one of those things? I don't know. I can't count another man's money. You can't count another man's money. Maybe Goff will hold out, will threaten, will say, hey, I want the top dollar, and all that kind of stuff.
Don't you think that they're going to extend him before that?
Yeah. No, I do. I absolutely do. And guys, like, to ask this question to say, does the lack of a move suggest that they're going to, mean that a Goff extension's coming soon? I think a Goff extension was coming soon anyway. As a matter of fact, I'll go so far as to tell you guys this. You want to hear that now. The sooner you hear it, the cheaper it is.
Cheaper it is. Right. It wouldn't be something that through the end of the season or into the off season that he gets done. You're gonna get it cheaper than as it goes longer. That's for sure, I think.
No, absolutely. El Gato, I'm not paying $50 million for a noodle arm. A noodle arm that's in the top 3 and 40-plus yard completions. Can we stop with this, guys? Noodle arm, can't throw the deep ball. He's one of the best in the league at it over the last 2 years. Check the numbers, man. If you're going to say it, say the right stuff. Be correct in what you say, because that is not true. Sorry, I had to put that out there,
T-Mac.
That's
good.
Also in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Here's one from Steve Brown. I don't know if I missed it, but why was Neal walking backwards on the treadmill this morning? Is this a good cool-down trick? Were people talking about this, JB Smoove? I was listening to a college football podcast at the time.
We were just wondering.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's the deal with this. And actually, my guy Dominic at the Planet Fitness over on Maple Road turned me on to this. And I ran it by my trainer at Oakland, the athletic trainer at Oakland. He said, yeah, 100%. Because I used to laugh at him. Like, why are people walk backwards on the treadmill just to put on a show to say, hey, look at me? That's what I thought they did. But the science was explained to me, and it made sense. And certainly after I did it, it started making sense. So, Steve, when you run long distances, 4 miles, 6 miles, 7 miles, whatever, those muscles you use, like in your strike, as you go and you're pushing off, they expand, they contract. They expand, they contract. When you turn around and walk backwards, it works the opposite. Your strike muscles expand and contract, but in the opposite way. So you're stretching out all the muscles that you just ran on. Huh? Big brain.
I was 51 years old when I learned that.
There you go. So, Steve Brown, that is why. Big brain stuff.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
All right, there it is. D-Mac, man, the mayor. Darren McCarty, the mayor, everybody. Nothing but love in the streets. Nothing but love for the streets.
Thank you.
Corey Berry, just asking Neal, what if Goff throws 3 picks in a wild card round and we lose a home playoff game? Then we're out of the playoffs, Corey.
Then you got to wait till next year.
What if Brock Purdy gets hurt and your running back has to play quarterback? Guess what? You're out of the playoffs, Corey. Like, this is, guys, get past what Michigan is doing this year is not real life in the NFL. You don't control your schedule to the point where you legit can lose to Ohio State and still be in the playoff. That's not the way this works. Guys, at some point, to win a Super Bowl, guess what? It's hard. Darren McCarty, you won 4 Stanley Cups. Was it just linear 2. Every single time?
Lost 2. Played in 6.
Did you sweep everybody in the playoffs? And
just a couple times.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, just 2 out of the 4.
D-Mac, I came clean to you when we started working together. I said in 1996, when you guys lost, I said it's never going to happen.
Yep.
I told you that. I looked you in the eye.
Hey, you were like Spenny.
Yeah.
And easy.
I was. I looked you in the eye.
And what happened?
I said, D-Mac, I was convinced we were never going to beat Colorado. Never.
So when did it change?
When you beat Colorado.
Right. Yep. Show us.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying, though? Like, it's hard. And guess what? You guys were underdogs in that series. You, the great Red Wings that won all those cups. Yeah, you guys were betting underdogs.
Right. And I remember when we were huge favorites in 95, how'd that work out for us?
Yes.
At our lunch fed.
Like, Corey Berry, you have to play well to win. He's got a resume of playing well. So, again, it's not linear, guys. You don't win every game by 21 points. Survive in advance. Survive in advance. Why does everyone want this? Expect this to be just you win by 20 every single game. Get in reality, guys. What is going on?
I got a question for you, though, when we come back.
What's that?
I got to ask you about the poll. The polls came out.
Yeah, we will. We can talk about that.
Because to your point, and you alluded to it about being able to lose to Ohio State.
And you're still in.
Still getting the playoffs. But, we got some feedback from the country.
Okay. Absolutely. We are going to get into that because the polls did come out yesterday. Woodward and Maine, our very own Detroit Lions Insider Show. Gabby D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and the legend Terry Foster host it. They're breaking everything down for you. They are on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel live on Sundays, as a matter of fact, at 8 a.m. Make that your first stop for your NFL Sunday. Tuesday episode as well. And that kicks off at 7 a.m. So all that is out there for you. We are doing NFL football, Lions football, better than anyone. Check the metrics, everybody. The Woodward Sports Lions Insider Show. Tuesdays and Sundays, Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Let's talk about Hamlin Pub, too, shall we? Because Hamlin Pub, it's the pub where everybody is a regular. There's 7 Metro Detroit locations, and they got the game day specials. All NFL Sunday. Anytime there's Michigan sporting events, Detroit sporting events going on, you can slide right through there. Half off pizza on Thursday nights. I've taken advantage of that before. I got some carbs in that day They got the bourbon going. That's all you need from me. We have our fantasy drafts there all the time. Love Hamlin Pub. That's just down the road, too. This is a spot to be at, everybody. Hamlin Pub, where everybody is a regular.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Neal Rhul here for Academy of Warwick, kindergarten through 8th grade, that features AM/PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, a Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Hope Mifflin curriculum, academic games, and K through 8 athletics, in a brand new Sports Dome Fieldhouse with a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field. Take a look around. Go to academyofwarren.net. Still time to enroll, by the way. That's academyofwarren.net. Keeping it pushing here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Rhul and Darren McCarty, and JB Smoove and Big Mike Gentry as well. Gentry, you're barbecue chip guy, I see, huh? Oh, yeah, he's team barbecue. That is where it's at. I love it. I love it. What's that? I'm team barbecue. A little bit of sugar in those things. A little bit. Yeah, that sugar gram count takes a little bit of a hit on it, but it's worth it on that one. It is absolutely worth it on that one. Cleaning up the Goff discussion, Joey, 2 times. Jared Goff has a #1 accuracy rating on throws over 20 yards. But, Joey, don't be getting facts into this. It's a lot easier to just spew the narrative and say, oh, he's got a noodle arm. He can't throw the ball deep. You can be uninformed, but be like Joey 2 times and be informed. Yes, college football playoff matchups, the initial rankings were sent out yesterday. And, to me, not a lot of surprise that was out there. But, D-Mac, I pride myself on educating the people and how these things work. And the desire of the committee, the thing that makes me laugh about it is how they weave from narrative to narrative, rank by rank. For those that didn't catch it, Ohio State currently at #1, Georgia #2, Michigan #3, Florida State is #4, Washington 5, Oregon 6, Texas 7, Alabama 8, and then it goes on. Penn State somehow, despite the fact they had a game where they went 1 for 16 on third down, somehow is considered #11 in the rankings, which is comical. But I'll tell you guys why in a minute. But, D-Mac, your initial reactions to it.
I just wondered how many Michigan fans were pissed, right? Obviously, it's strength of schedule to fall down, but, Ohio State, I guess they have done what they've needed to do to be up there. It really doesn't matter as long as you're in the top floor. So it'll all play out in the wash. I just wondered. I didn't hear too many people's panties get caught in a rut because of that, right?
No, because here's the deal. And guys, I told you this, right? Michigan, and they'll beat bum Penn State. Penn State is laughable. But here's what you need. You need to keep Penn State, because can we all agree? BMG, you're just give me a simple head nod or shake your head. Can we all agree that Penn State, as the 11th best team in the country to this point, is laughable? Laughable. Right.
They're counting that win, so that win goes against Michigan as, Penn State's not that great, but Ohio State beat them right now, so they're #1. But when Michigan goes on and they beat them in a couple weeks, it'll be viewed as nothing.
No, that's why they kept them at 11. That's why they kept them at 11.
I'm just saying.
BMG, the groundwork's laid to get their two Big Ten teams in the playoff. It's laid.
I know, because now
100% laid out.
Michigan beats Ohio State, and then Ohio State slides down.
They're taking Michigan. They're taking Ohio State, both of them, right now. They're going to take the SEC champion, and they're going to take either Florida State or Washington. If Washington runs the table, they'll end up taking Washington over Florida State. It was laughable to me because this is always laughable. Because as I'm watching the rankings come out and they pop Florida State on the screen and they talk about, yes, Florida State is undefeated, but who really have they beaten? That was their narrative. I heard them say it. That was an exact word. Who have the wins come against? Despite the fact that, it was LSU.
Look at the whole – oh, my God. Can you not go to look at Ohio State and look at Michigan right there?
No, but I'll land the plane.
You can't say that against anybody in the SEC. By default, they play another good team.
Right, but I'll land the plane in a minute, though. So I heard them say that, where they say Florida State, you really have to question who the wins have come against. Then next on the screen pops up Michigan. After literally the last sentence in his mouth was, you have to question who the wins came against. Michigan pops up on the screen at 3. And the line is, and guys, this isn't being anti-Michigan. They do this with everybody here. I did it with Penn State a minute ago. They get to Michigan, and it pops up, and they say, yes, the question of the schedule, the 111th ranked schedule in the country comes into play. But if you look at game control, then when Michigan pops up there, the selling point is game control, where the reason Florida State's 4 is because who they beat with a win over LSU. Michigan pops up. Then it's game control. You see what I'm saying?
Narrative.
Then Georgia pops up, and they don't have that because they haven't beat teams like the way Michigan's beat them, right?
Yeah, but to me, out of respect, Georgia should not have relinquished number 1. If you're going to argue apples and oranges, you put Ohio State 2 just because no one's thrown them.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, too, Gentry, here's where your Penn State at 11 thing comes into play. After they talked about game control, they said Michigan has the number 1 ranked schedule the rest of the way. That was their line. They have the number 1 ranked schedule the rest of the way because they put Ohio State at 1, and they kept Penn State at. They put Penn State at 11. You see how laughable it is? Like BMG, you're a Michigan guy. It's laughable. No, but you don't have to let this unfold because it's there.
Into the microphone.
No, it is. It's right there. John Miller says if Michigan loses to Ohio State, they need a lot of stuff to happen to make the playoff. I don't think they make it if they lose that game. Well, John, here's the thing, man. Like, you know how this is going to play out? Because I had somebody ask me that. You know how this is going to play out, right? It's going to play out the way it always plays out. The Pac-12 will lose to each other because that's what they always do. So they will be a non-factor. And then Florida State, if they run the table, which they probably won't, because still there are some question marks about Florida State, they will simply say, because they have Michigan in there, if you lose to the number 1 team in Ohio State, that'll be good enough. It'll be good enough. The groundwork's laid. That's why Penn State's 11. That's why they change. That's why they move the goalpost as they go through. Yes. And then the SEC, like Alabama, all of a sudden is 8. And climbing.
And if you have Ohio State 1, they lose to Michigan, then they drop them to 4.
But
unless
they're in.
Washington runs the table.
Yeah. And it's not going to happen. Washington's not running the table.
Because the Pac-12 is going to do what the Pac-12 does.
Yeah, so, that's what it is. Danny G, FSU hasn't dominated some of their bad opponents. Is why. Okay, I understand that. But still, when you look at it, you can't. When you have the worst schedule in America, like Michigan does, to put them where they are at this point, it's comical. But they're in there now, so it doesn't matter. You see what I'm saying here?
And they were always going to be in there.
They were always going to be in there, D-Mac.
Is that not the 4 teams that you had? Maybe there's one, there's a Washington, or who else would be there, but that's the way it was going to play out. Alabama.
The point of all of it is this. And I've said this from day one. When I saw the schedule, when we talked about the schedule back in May, I said, D-Mac, they're in the playoff no matter what. They can lose to Ohio State.
Said that last year too.
And they're in the playoff. And they are. They are absolutely in the playoff. And conversely, Ohio State can lose and they're in the playoff because they lost to Michigan.
Yep.
But you beat Penn State. You beat Notre Dame. There are two Big Ten teams, which to me is comical because what does everybody say about the Big Ten this year? All the pundits.
It's down. There's only
it's
two
the
teams.
worst they've ever seen it. There's only 2 teams.
Yeah, it's representing the whole
50% of the playoff.
Crazy. You know what's not crazy, though? Haircuts. Come to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience and register to win. Trip of your dreams, all expenses paid, suite to the 2024 NCAA basketball tournament. That's right, no expense spared for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Feldman Chevrolet and the Feldman Automotive Group. 18 locations. There's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, first-class car buying experience, and it's called the Feldman Advantage. Catch Woodward Sports Network live from Feldman Chevrolet of Novi coming up on Monday, as a matter of fact. I'll be out, by the way, so I won't be there at Feldman Chevrolet. College basketball starts on Monday. We'll be at Ohio State. So I'll miss that one, but you guys know what it is. Feldman Chevrolet in Novi. See everybody on Monday.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com. Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
When buying or selling real estate, flexibility and control over the sales process is key. Sellers, how would you like the freedom of canceling your listing agreement at any time for any reason with no penalty at all? That is exactly what Mark White & Associates offers. It's called the minute-by-minute listing agreement by Mark White & Associates. Try Mark White's risk-free minute-to-minute listing agreement today. Looking to buy or sell real estate? Visit markwhitesales.com or call them at 248-290-8242. MarkWhiteSales.com, where flexibility meets success.
Closing down the show here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Usually at the Planet Fitness Studios. We're literally in Planet Fitness today. Happy to have you all with us. Neal, Rhul, Darren, McCarty, JB Smooth, Big Mike Gentry as well. Big shout-out to Allison Wetter, the general manager here at the Shelby Plaza location. Allison's getting married, so congratulations to them. And I told Matt, his fiance Matt, through the show, you don't get control of the thermostat ever again in your life. So just get comfortable, adapt, and do that. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Jack Harrington, Neal, don't forget about Oklahoma and Texas. Yes, Jack, pretty funny how Texas is 2 spots ahead of Oklahoma when they, played each other. And Oklahoma won. Laughable.
Yeah.
Laughable.
Yeah.
So, it is. Guys Michigan, Ohio State are in, no matter what. And the SEC champion will be in. And if one of the Pac-12s runs the table, they'll get it. If Washington runs the table, they'll get in over Florida State. If not, Florida State runs a table, then they'll be in. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that this is the worst Big Ten we've ever seen in our lives. Doesn't matter. None of it matters, you guys. None of it matters. It's a staged production. So I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that's what it is. And I tried to tell you how this would break down back in May. One of my Florida buddies sent me this. Sports betting in Florida will begin in 2 to 3 weeks. The folks at Hard Rock will have their app out there, and so they'll have sports betting down in Florida. That's just what those degenerates down there need. Like, they need another vice on there to assist to being Florida man. So yeah, did we get anything accomplished here today, D-Mac? I think we did.
I think we absolutely did. We really, and like you said, jump off the bridge, crew. Join the heavyweights tonight, 5 to 7. But
5 to 7.
I know my boy Spenny. I know our boy Spenny. It's just give him a little bit of time. I think he'll come back around eventually. It's just you're allowed as Lucas. You're allowed to be disappointed, but come on, boys. Stoke, not scared. In the bye week, Big D Energy style. Let's go.
Yes, absolutely. Chuck Brewer. Neal, you're wrong. I was alive in the early 80s when it was the Big Two and nobody else then as well. Yeah, it's been a great narrative, Marked Royal, you Michigan haters, get over it. Michigan's a top 4 team, and they're going to the playoffs. Stop. No, they are going to the playoffs. We're going to find out if they're a top 4 team. They don't have a top 4 resume, but that doesn't matter, and I told you guys that. Like, why would you ever play a schedule? Michigan should never play a game again if they don't have to, because they don't need to. And it's not a shot. It's reality. Let's go Red Wing Sparty. There's a good show from 2 to 4 on here if you can't take fair criticism about your team. Hey, come on. JB Smoove, that's not true, is it?
Wow. Shots
right?
fired.
Plausible deniability, JB. You didn't hear the question. Your earphones aren't working. You're on Big D Energy. It's not coming through. If this was the bottom line, you'd be able to hear what Neal said, but you're not. You cannot confirm nor deny. I got your back.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, that will do it here from Planet Fitness.
Thank you for the hospitality.
Nick Hedigan, I was thinking about not running today. Neal gave me the drive to get in. Thanks, Neal. Nick, you're welcome. Dude that ran back-to-back marathons, saying he needs me for drive. Okay, bro. Anyway, though, hey, for D-Mac, for JB Smoove, for Big Mike Gentry, Lucas, everybody out here, I got everything set up. We appreciate you all, no doubt about it. Thanks to Planet Fitness here at Shelby Township as well. We'll see you from the studio tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Well, see you later.